Hi and welcome, and we're doing the tarot for the business astrology. It's lovely to be with you. Whoops, and they're flipping over. So it's going to be a really interesting week ahead and a really interesting end to the new year, which is to the new year, to this year. On the 9th, we have Mercury going into Sagittarius. So we're going to be extremely fluid in our thought processes, if not perhaps a little blunt. So just be aware we could be a tad blunt with our statements. On the 12th, we have the full moon. We have a full moon on the 12th, which is going to go full at 12 minutes past midnight in the 12th month. So we've got a full moon on the 12th of the 12th of the 12th of 12 past 12. So basically 12, 12, 12, and 12. 12th house, things that are hidden. 12th house, things that we don't fully understand. 1 and 2 makes 3. 3 is about relationships and working with people. So there's lots of changes in the 3. 3 and 3 makes a 9, which means manifesting. 3 of the 12th month with 3 of the 12th day. With 12 minutes past midnight, it makes 12, which makes a 3, which means that we've got possibly 5 12s, which is 5 times in the 12th house, or 5 3s, whichever way you want to look at it. And either way, we're having a fundamental change in how we are relating to people around us. And I think a lot of that is well due. Now on the 13th, you have Chiron coming out of retrograde and going direct. So we're going to be taking a lot of the learning. And the learning from Chiron, the wounded healer, has all been about relationships and how we are in relationships. So we're going to see some real changes, some lines in the sand about how we see ourselves in relationships and how we want to be valued and how we deserve to be valued. And I'm just going to show you the cards. I've got the Celtic Cross. Full moon on the 12th is going to show us things that we understand are there, but we don't fully understand yet. Chiron, the wounded warrior, is going to go direct, and it's going to show us where we are carrying injuries and wounds and old messages and old ways of being that we need to release. 8 of Swords. Followed by the 10th, 10 Swords. So there is something that we can't see fully yet, but we have an inkling of it. And the reason I know we have an inkling, because this is followed by the 8 of Earth, which is a boat and movement in a new direction. And it's about optimism. And that's going to be fully highlighted for us in the next couple of weeks. Now we've got this sense, we've got this undercurrent. After the 12th, we're going to know exactly what it is, because right now we can feel it, but we can't articulate it. But whatever, as soon as we get that understanding, and we're fast approaching that understanding, it's a change. There's going to be movement. So that's a lot to fly out in the first. And what I'm going to say to you is, you don't need to work so hard to get the understanding. The understanding is coming. 2 of Wands. Okay. So again, 2 of Wands. Making a choice. Can you see there's 2 paths? One's going away and it's a road. One is dragon energy coming towards us. But there's a choice that will be made. And it's going to, this time, it's going to be all about us. It's not going to be trade-offs to other people about what's important. It's going to be about what's important to us. Oops. Okay. And my great sense of these two cards, the 8 and the 10 of Swords, I'll put a clarifier for those, but I've got a really good sense that this is about us being very clear about us and how we want the relationships we are in and how we're being valued in those relationships. So let's see what else comes out about the cards. Any more cards for the Celtic? Okay, yes. All right, thank you. All right, there's no need. Oh. Okay, and that's very good. I like what's come out. The 4 of Swords. Look at that. 4 of Swords. I talked about earlier, we're in a bit of a void at the moment because Chiron is stationary. So it's okay to take a bit of time out and some reflection because we're going to be shown. And here we are with the 8 of Swords talking about messages coming into us. So we're going to be shown. This is not a time for us to be almost manically digging into, because that's the other thing with Mercury going to Sagittarius. The focus has gone from this deep dive into expansion and looking. So it's like we're being asked to open up. And the 2 other cards that have come up is the 5 of Wands and the King of Cups. Now the 5 of Wands is and here you can see it's feeling a little bit on the outside of what's taking place. So it's feeling like we're not really part of what that is or what's part of what's happening. One of the things that's going to take place, and I think it's our in relationships, is we're going to have change. Our tribe's going to change a little bit. People we've aligned ourselves with before, we are not wanting to align with. Because now we see that's no longer who we are. It doesn't mean we just walk away completely, or it might, but it definitely means there's going to be a bit of a change. And the 5 of Wands gives this feeling of us feeling a little bit isolated and a little bit on the outside. But what's interesting about the 5 of Wands is it's with the King of Cups. And the King of Cups in this instance is almost depicted as Neptune. So Neptune is at the bottom of the sea. So there's something that we need to go deeper to understand. And the way that we go deeper to understand is we stop digging and we let the understanding come, because we need to let the understanding come. Okay, I've got one more, and I think I need to get a card to go with the 8 of Shields. Yeah, that came out very quickly. Ooh, High Priestess. Stop digging. You know what it is. Allow it to come. And the other thing I really like about the High Priestess is this is a good time for manifesting. So some of the changes that are going to be coming are changes that we've been asking for. We've been asking for them. And now it's a little bit like, okay, just take the time out. You've been heard. There will be some choices that you will be able to make, because right now you don't really understand what that choice is. But when they come, you will have enormous clarity. So I really want you to trust this. Oh, and look at that. Now we've got the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is a great card because it's about our thinking and how we see the thinking. And can you see she is totally balanced? Yeah. And she's being shown. She's got the highlight, the halo around her head. So the environment of this is you are in control of your thoughts, but you need to be gentle with yourself about your thoughts and keep that under control. I'm just going to use the vice versa because I really want to get some clarity on some of the cards, particularly on the 8 and the 10 of Swords. And then I think also on the 5 of Wands. I think that's the only ones that we're not complete. I just want to make sure we can tone it right down. And the other thing, I don't know if you can see with her, is the rainbow at the bottom of the card. Isn't that beautiful? It's a lovely depiction. beginnings. The magician, not the fool, the magician. So you have everything that you need. So this feeling here about this 8 and 10, it's about a feeling of lack. You're feeling like you don't have what you need to be able to make the change you want to make. And all you know is that you just keep doing it and you're getting the same result. It's not working for you. And here's the magician to reaffirm you have everything you need to make the change. And the change is a choice. Oh, here we go. The world. You got this. You really got this. And then what do we get? Oh, we get another King of Cups. So we're doubling up with the King of Cups. So that says to you that you do know what you need to be doing, but it is asking you to take a little bit of a step back and to not be so, at this stage, emotionally engaged with what's taking place, because you don't have it all yet. You don't have that understanding. The full moon on the 12th is going to show you what it is that you need and the changes you're going to make. And they're all about all the learning you have done about yourself. And it has been about yourself with other people, and it's been around the value you place on yourself and how you articulate and demonstrate that value. And that's going to be the determining factor in the relationships and whether you go ahead or stop or what the change is. Because it now needs to be about you, not about the relationships with other people. You don't have to be on the outside unless you choose to be on the outside. And people blocking you and from joining, that's just this, this is manipulation, that's control. If they're blocking you from joining, go get yourself a new tribe. Go towards something else. Go towards people who respect you and like you. Get away from those people who are holding you back. And underneath, the wounded warrior. With the Fool, and this is reversed, albeit, vice versa. So this is the back. You can't even see yet what the direction is. Yeah? And your sense of direction, can you see? It's being clouded by other people. It's been clouded by other people. And here you are, and you are exhausted and you're standing guard, but you're going to choose. Can you see he has one staff in his hand, stave in his hand. He's going to choose. You're going to choose the one you want. You are going to choose the one you want, the direction you want to take, and how you want to be perceived. And how that translates into the business is, if you haven't already watched the astrology, it's how you're being rewarded. Are you being acknowledged? Are people giving you back in terms of openly saying to you, thank you very much, I appreciate it? Are you getting recognition? Are you getting the credits? Are you standing up and saying, this is me, I'm worth the money? So what's going to happen is you're going to be changing some things about how you are charging people, how you are, and if it's free work that you're doing, which is fine, we all do free work, the credit that comes from that, are you being acknowledged? And these are going to be your new boundaries, and this is going to help you make choices about, no, if this is not fulfilling me, if this is just exhausting me, I'm going to move towards something new. And you've got 2 8s, so we're doubling up. You've got 3 8s, so you really are talking about new opportunities coming. That's a triple. And I think with all of this 12, 12, 12, which is a 3, we're talking new tribes. So I think what we've got coming together in the year 2020 is this month we're going to be doing a lot of evaluating about our current business relationships and the terms of those business relationships, how we're being recognized, how we're being paid, the value we're getting back for them, and we're going to be wanting to change them, and we're going to be drawing a line in the sand, and if people are not willing to make that change, then we are going to walk away from that relationship. Because that relationship, that tribe, it's not fitting us anymore. We know what we want, doubling up, and we're going to be going for it. But right now, it's not going to happen until after the 12th. So use this time to explore, to understand. We're being given lots and lots of communication skills. It's just as important to be communicating with us as it is to be communicating with other people. My sense is now is a time for us to be exploring and understanding within us, so that once we get the go-ahead that's going to happen after the 12th, and that full moon and Chiron starts to go direct, we have the articulation to be able to put all of that into action and go forward either in a new way in the relationships or with new relationships. Okay, bye-bye. See you later. Interesting couple of weeks ahead.